As a British national, why did you choose to do this book about Nigeria, and why Nigeria?
Well, I think, I first came to Nigeria in 1981 as a visitor. And I think, I've been travelling frequently, and then since about 1998, I've lived here permanently. So a good part of my working career has been spent in Africa and specifically Nigeria. So I think it's interesting because I wouldn't say at first I fully embraced Nigeria, I was travelling around a lot and I found it quite difficult. But I think after a while, you kind of take your feet off the ground and go with the flow. And once you take that emotional leap and accept it, then something magical happens. So I guess that's what happened to me.
Now, as someone who has lived in Lagos for a while, what is your perception of this city through your looking glass?
Well, I think the first time you come, and it's been a while, so you forget it, but the first time you come, you're hit by the heat, the noise, new smells. Everything is there in your face, the number of people, the crush, and it can be intimidating. You've heard all the stories, this, that and the other, you're going to be kidnapped from the airport and all this kind of thing. And I think at first this is a bit overwhelming, but I think, two things happen. One is, if you have a good guide, if you're lucky to make friends with, Nigerians, or if you're a visitor, your hosts help you overcome that barrier, then these things fall back in, they become wallpaper, and then you can start getting closer to the positive, the real stuff. And once you can get through that, you can get to, the real Nigeria, the warmth, the excitement, the vitality, that at first can be hidden by your own fear of what you're coming into.
Now, based on what you've seen living and working in this country, what is your opinion of governance in Nigeria?
I mean, governance is a huge issue. I've written about it in several of the books, and it's a theme in a way, because anybody that lives in Lagos has to deal at one level or another with governance issues, whether it's purely, being stopped on the street at a roadblock and people are intimidated in giving money for no reason at all to the police, or at corporate levels, government officials coming in, agencies. Sometimes you even believe some of the laws are created just as a way of enabling money to be, shall we say, handed over.
What are some of the best and worst memories you've had living in this country?
Well, I mean, it's, there's a lot more best than there are worst. I think some of those just blend in to the background. When I first started coming, I worked for a British government organisation called the Crown Agents, and I was sent to collect debts. Now that was, that taught me patience, and, hours spent in government offices waiting for officials and bureaucrats was certainly an early painful memory. But, as you, get, I mean, a lot of the positive things are about people. I really enjoyed and still enjoy working in consumer-facing businesses, because you're talking to ordinary Nigerians. A lot of expatriates, and I use the term ajabotas, Nigerians who maybe they've been educated abroad, they come back, they work for a bank or a consulting firm. They know less about life off of the islands than I do. And I've been given that opportunity, drinking in bars to find out what people think of Guinness, talking to market traders, about the quality of cowbell products. That gives you a great insight, and that's where you get the warmth and the humour. Even with my really poor pidgin, the market traders, the mummers, they joke, they flirt with you, they, take the mickey, they say, try this, and it's spicy, and you cough, and they all laugh and they slap you, playfully, and that's the kind of warmth and humanity which I've found over the years I've been coming here.
So finally, what advice would you like to give to people out there who would want to come to Nigeria?
Well, I think it's around attitude. I think it's, you know, take your feet off the ground and go with the flow. But the key thing, I think, is smile. You know, if you show that you're tense and everything, first of all, Lagos is a tough place, even for Nigerians. And you see Lagosians, they have their hard face, you know, they're in the traffic, they suck their teeth, they bone their face, you know, they don't look as if they don't know what they're doing, otherwise you'll get... But if you look relaxed, and particularly if you smile, you know, treat issues with a smile, it is amazing how things change. You know, you smile at people, you show that, you know, you're open and you're relaxed. Part of you always has to keep yourself on guard, but it does anywhere. New York, you know, big cities. But, you know, open yourself to the experience and then you'll find it rewarding.